paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? It'd be a paradise and put up a parking lot.
Hey everybody, Dawson here, and we today are going to be looking at solving equations with combining like terms. This is something we have done. We've done some combining like terms before, but we haven't, and we've solved equations before, but we haven't put those two together, where you've got like terms to put together in an equation, and then you have to solve it. So get out those Cornell notes, and let's get started. Alright, so first question is this one here, 3x plus 5x minus 10 equals 14. So, as you noticed here, we have three terms. There's one term there, two terms, three terms. Remember, a term is something that's separated by a plus or a minus sign in an equation or an expression. There's another term over here, but it's separated by the equal sign, and so we have to use our normal solving equations in order to deal with that part of it. So we're really just looking at each side of the equal sign. So let's look at just this side over here, and we figure out which terms can go together. Well, I've got x's here, and I've got 3x there, and 5x here. Remember, that sign comes with it. That's really important. And then I've got minus 10, and that is a box because it does not go with the x's. This has no x to it, so I can't combine them. Put my 3x and my 5x together, and I get 8x because they're both positive. Minus 10, remember, I can't put those together because this one has x's and this one doesn't, equals 14. Now I'm left with a straightforward two-step equation. And so if I get rid of my whole numbers first, add 10, do the opposite to it, add 10 to both sides of the equation, 8x equals 14 plus 10 is 24. My second step of that two-step equation, divide by the coefficient, the number in front of the x, divide by that on both sides, and I'm left with x equals 3. And that is my answer. And I'm all done. So it's really not too much. You're really just adding, you're putting two pieces together, and it's just the same as what we've done in the past. We're just putting two pieces together. All right, let's try this one. Why don't you pause it and then try it yourself, and then I'll work through the problem for you. Okay, let's see how you did. We've got a positive 2x there, and we have a negative 7x there, and then the plus 6's are different, so I'm putting boxes around those instead of circles. This is on the other side of the equal sign, so I can't do anything. I can't combine those across an equal sign. Can't do it. So 2x minus 7x, that would be a negative 5x. The minus 6 just stays as it is, and that equals a negative 21. Just like always, I'm left with a two-step equation, and now I'm going to do the opposite of this 6, so add 6 to both sides. I've got negative 5x equals, now negative 21 plus 6 brings me to a negative 15, and then I divide both sides by negative 5, and I'm left with x equals. Now this one is tricky. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 3. So make sure you get those signs right on that. 15 divided by 5 is 3, but a negative divided by a negative is a positive. All right, last question. We have 4x minus 5x plus 6 equals 7 minus 13. Now you might be thinking, whoa, this looks intense. But the process is exactly the same. Again, remember, let's think of this as two sides. There's a lot going over on this other side here, but let's think of it as two separate sides. Combine like terms on each side, and then solve it like a two-step equation. So I have my 4x's. I have negative 5x and a plus 6. So put those two together. I've got negative 1x plus 6. I'm done with that side of the equation. That's done. Now I can look at the other side. And I've got my 7's and I've got a negative 13. Now both of those are just whole numbers. There's no x's there, so I can combine those like terms. So 7 minus 13 gets me to a negative 6, just a regular negative 6, and I'm back to a two-step equation. So all that work got me back to a two-step equation. Subtract 6 by both sides. I'm left with negative x. Now why did I drop that 1? Because I can. The 1 is extra information, doesn't have to be there. If there's no 1 there, if there's no number there, it means there's a 1 there. It's kind of hidden because 1 times any number is just that number. So I can write it as negative x. I just wanted to show you that too. Negative 6, positive 6 minus 6, that's a 0. And that equals negative 6 minus 6, which is negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 1. Sometimes people want to stop here at negative x. You can't. You got to get that to a positive x. So divide both sides by negative 1. Negative divided by negative is a positive x. Negative 12 divided by negative 1 is a positive 12. So our answer for x here is 12. And that is solving equations with combining like terms. Now, I've got one more bit here for you. This is just the extra stuff. Instead of a joke today, I'm going to give you an interesting science fact that I found. And I had a student who was asking me about this, so I thought I would just go ahead and give it out to everybody. So they asked me, how fast does the Earth spin around? Well, it turns out the Earth spins at over 1,000 miles per hour. 1,000 miles per hour. We don't feel it, but we are spinning that fast. And of course, you might say, well, how the heck would you know how fast the Earth is spinning? And the math is pretty simple. If, and this is a big if you know the circumference of the Earth, and people have figured this out to be 24,901 miles. So if you agree, or if you want to do the math yourself, you can find that the Earth's circumference, the distance around the outside of the Earth, is approximately 24,901 miles. Then we also know that it takes 24 hours for the Earth to rotate in one day. So to go one day is basically that Earth rotating around one time, and that takes 24 hours. So it takes 24 hours to go 24,901 miles. All you have to do is divide the circumference by the number of hours it takes, and it gets us to 1,037.5 miles per hour. That is pretty darn fast. And you can't even feel it. That's the thing that is remarkable. We're doing it every second of every day. We are spinning at this speed, and we can't feel it at all. Amazing stuff. All right, everybody, have a good day, and I will see you in class. See ya.